I want to open up. Is there anyone who wants to say anything? Family members of Christoff? Anyone?
Yeah, well, I must also just say that this doesn't come from nowhere. I mean, I've been working with many people, some of them in the room, some of them from different countries, you know, sort of, and all of those ideas, of course, contribute towards what one can write up in a book and put into a tool. So it is not as if, and I think this is the magic of creation. Is that if you can, yes, that's why I'm not a magician. But yeah, so the culmination of the entrepreneurial activity in Cape Town, I think, is also, we may not notice it while we're here, but it is exceptional that we're able to focus on building businesses here in a way that contributes towards maybe tools that can be used in other countries. Yesterday in the stand, in the expo, there were two chaps from ex-South Africans that are now based in Canada and America that were scouting there for some business prospects that they're doing here, and they latched onto this thing and said they're going to take this to Startup Week in Los Angeles next year. To pitch to the venture capitalists. So there's kind of something to aim for going into the future.
I wanted to introduce Christoff before he started to speak, and then he just pushed me out of the way. But most of you know Christoff. But for me, the thing that stands out in what he's just said, that this is a collaborative event. It's a culmination of journeys with lots of people, and particularly in Cape Town. You know, because you latch on and you pick up these things. And I remember clearly Kobani was here and Barry when they ran a big news for small business, and then they sold it, and then Christoff had time on his hands and he didn't know what to do, and things happened, and then he went to Bali, and when he came back from Bali, he was just talking about flow, you know, so this was his thing. So instead of taking the pressure of what must I do now, he was just cool and calm and says, I must get into the flow, and the flow will take me. And the flow has brought him to this point. And I think I've benefited from this tool, and many others. And so thank you, Christoff, for just sharing with us the concept of flow. And I don't know, in terms of friends and family, how you've picked up on this concept that he's latched on in terms of flow. And you're probably book of flow, eh?
Okay, but we can flow down to the...
So yeah, let's have some conversation. I do want to ask someone to say something.
But just in terms of, if you don't have 200 Rand, you can take a book. But I think most of us do have 200 Rand. Normally it's 280 Rand. It's going for 200 Rand now. I'm not sure, Greer, are you taking money? But they are taking money.
And they take IOUs. But I do want to ask, is there anyone who just wants to say something?
I do. I've known Christoff for over 5 years. We met at the Cape Chamber of Commerce. And this flow canvas, I think when iPad 1 first came out, he showed me. I've always known that this was a work in progress. And it is quite amazing how it has evolved. And we had the honor when in our company with our first get together as a group of our franchisees. We had him facilitate our conference, and myself and my business partner went there really miffed because these guys are not delivering on what they're supposed to do, and we're going to go there and have a serious 8K CC. There's a child. Let's say what we want to do. So he called us into his office, and he said, okay, gentlemen, let's just talk about you. Let's focus on you. By the time we were done, we realized actually there was a lot more wrong with us than there was wrong with these guys.
There was more wrong
with us, yes. That was wrong with these guys, and when we put us together, we realized that, you know what, at the end of the day, we all share the same thing, you know, passion for our business, and ever since then, so I've been a fan.
Yes, great stuff.
Okay,
thank you so much. I'm going to ask you another question. We're going to eat now. One more.
I'll just share something very quickly. I first met Christoff, I think, during the associate coaching course at the Graduate School of Business, where I did some of my coaching training. And I remember very clearly that flow was part of your language. In fact, I don't know if you had an email address or something to it when I had a conversation with you. And Christoff was partly present in the coaching thing, but he always had his heart and mind flowing into other places. And that was the word that actually stuck with me. And it resonated with me actually afterwards, because coaching is much the same. You know, you have to go with the flow of clients that you meet. It's not a very rigid thing, and you come back to the important things, but in different ways. And I never forget the language of flow, which really came to me very succinctly when Christoff actually introduced it to me way back then. So well done, and I think I'm going to benefit from this myself.
Great stuff.